Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on February 5th, 2026, just yesterday. It introduces a new defense framework for autonomous agents that achieves the lowest attack success rate and false positive rate among tested methods, all while adding only about 8% latency overhead. The paper is titled SpiderSense: Intrinsic Risk Sensing for Efficient Agent Defense with Hierarchical Adaptive Screening. And as we'll see later, the way it manages to secure agents without slowing them down is really impressive. And for those interested in the implementation, the authors have shared their code on GitHub. Alright, to understand the core idea, Figure 1 contrasts the traditional approach with this new method. On the left, the existing framework forces a security check between every single step, query, planning, and action, which creates a bottleneck shown by those accumulating clock icons. On the right, the SpiderSense framework replaces this with internal risk sensing. Here the agent stays vigilant in the background, but only triggers a formal security check if it explicitly senses a threat, like a suspicious observation. This selective intervention is what allows it to maintain high speed without sacrificing safety. Figure 2 details the full workflow. On the left, the agent follows its normal loop of planning, acting, and observing, while the intrinsic risk sensing monitors for anomalies. Here, a yellow warning icon indicates a potential threat detected specifically during an observation. This detection activates the template mechanism in the center, which packages the suspicious data for verification. Then, the hierarchical adaptive screening panel on the right takes over. It first attempts a quick match against known attack vectors, but if the situation is unclear, it escalates to a slower, fine-grained analysis, where the model explicitly reasons through the risk. To properly evaluate this defense, the authors argue that current datasets fall short. Table 1 lists these existing benchmarks, like SafeArena and Mind2Web, and highlights their limitations with rows of crosses. Most miss crucial elements, such as real tool feedback or the ability to handle multi-stage attacks. In contrast, the bottom row presents the author's new benchmark, S-squared bench. It checks every box, incorporating hard benign prompts and multi-domain scenarios to ensure the agent is tested against realistic, complex threats. So, Figure 3 breaks down why the agent needs to be vigilant at every single stage, not just at the start. It compares the full SpiderSense model, shown in the short dark blue bars, against versions where specific sensing stages were turned off. The most dramatic finding is in the attack success rate cluster on the left. Notice the massive spike in that tall, striped bar? That represents disabling sensing during the action stage, which causes the attack success rate to jump by nearly 30 points. While Figure 3 focused on internal ablations, Table 3 pits the full SpiderSense model against external baselines on the S-squared bench. The results here are striking. Looking at the total columns on the right, SpiderSense achieves attack success rates around 10%. Compare that to the guardrail-based methods in the middle rows, which often hover above 30%. Even more critical is the duration column. Competitors like Grail add massive latency, sometimes slowing the agent down by over 300%. In contrast, SpiderSense adds just an 8% overhead. Next, Figure 4 uses a radar chart to visualize the trade-offs within the screening mechanism itself. The three axes represent defense score at the top, precision on the left, and efficiency on the right. If we look at the red dotted outline, which removes the fine-grained analysis, efficiency is high, but the defense score at the top collapses, because simple matching cannot catch complex attacks. Conversely, the dashed line removes the fast, coarse-grained filter. Here, safety remains high, but efficiency on the right shrinks drastically. The solid gray area confirms that the full two-stage system is necessary to maximize coverage across all three metrics. Wrapping up, two takeaways stand out. First, security does not require constant, heavy-handed roadblocks. By making risk sensing an intrinsic part of the agent's cognition, SpiderSense drastically reduces latency without compromising safety. Second, the success of the hierarchical screening proves that defense mechanisms should be adaptive, escalating only when necessary. That's it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Thanks for listening.